Hi and welcome to another edition of winemastery.co.uk. I'm John Lightfoot and this is
John Murphy.
And we're here in episode number 11, part 2, and we're talking about Merlot. So the first Merlot was delicious, and the second.
Now we are in for a treat because I would rate this as one of my favourite wines in the shop, and I've got hundreds of wines to choose from every single day, but this one I go for fairly frequently.
What, in a day?
I know, I try not to drink too much of this. I'm promising nothing though.
Okay.
It is a Merlot, but we're moving to South Africa for this Merlot. Now, obviously, we kind of stock obviously a fair few Merlots, and there used to be a Merlot called Spice Root, which was one of my favourite wines in the whole wide world. But unfortunately, they pulled up all the vines and planted something else. I'm not sure what they planted, but my wine rep was well aware of how much I liked that particular Merlot. So for about 3 years or something, he's been bringing me in samples of all these Merlots, and they've all been just okay. But then he's brought this one into me, and it is, well, in my opinion, it's a stunner.
And is it, when you say, is it consistent? I mean, have you been drinking this for a number of years? Or?
Yeah, well, I've made the mistake once. We used to have a fantastic, again, a Centimillion, and I think it was a 2002, if I remember rightly, and it was absolutely delicious. And I was really, it was about £25 a bottle, but it was worth it. And I remember having a word with my father-in-law, and I was saying, I'll bring us one. We'll have one for you. Make the dinner, and I'll bring the wine. And I was really bigging this wine up, and of course I was very stupid. I didn't check the vintage, so moved on. I'm not sure if it was 2003 or 2004, but I remember taking it and I was quite disappointed, and I thought, oh, you know, drink it. Oh. So since then I've always checked vintages of all the wines as they're coming in, just to make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So.
Okay. We're going to do a...
We are now. Look, that's much darker. That's almost like it's going. It's got the brownish hue.
Yeah, it has.
Around the rim there.
Yeah.
And again, has that density in there. But in saying that, I thought the first Merlot was going to be quite dense and thick, but it turned out to be quite light.
Yeah.
Now, actually, as I was pouring this, I could smell this. So
could you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm right looking forward to this.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Much fuller.
Yep. Okay. What we're going to get?
It continues.
This is very similar. It's a very similar style as a Rioja for me, and again, Rioja does tend to be one of my favourites.
Yeah, I remember from a previous episode, though we've not tasted Rioja, we have discussed Rioja, and you started waxing lyrical about levers.
And I'm going to do the same with this.
Okay, he's going to do the same, guys.
I am, because it has got that.
I'm going to bring in a chamois next time, just so I can have a sniff and.
It's got that similar leather tobacco, which are these are the predominant flavours or smells I'm getting from there.
That must be like what a cowboy smells like, then, really.
Quite possibly. I'd like to smell a cowboy. If we find one in Brighouse. But yeah, this is one where I could sit and smell that for a good 15 minutes before even getting into it. There's so much to find in there. I think the only thing, when we did the blind test, the only thing that would differentiate that from a Rioja is that plumminess, which is what I would expect from there. Rioja for me doesn't have, especially on the note, well, or even on the flavour, doesn't have a lot of fruit in there, really. Chocolatey, it's got a chocolatey.
Yeah, no, we discussed that before. Chocolatey as in terms of it being smooth rather than actual cocoa taste or cocoa aroma.
I think the cocoa aroma.
Okay.
That is a delight.
Yeah, it does sort of becken you in, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm seeing who's going to hold off tasting first.
Well, I could stay for 15 minutes. I just don't think people want to watch that.
No, that's true. We get it back.
Brilliant. Again, immediately that's got a lot more power going on there. Now, as I said about the chocolate we said on the cocoa nose, that comes through the chocolatey richness, as you mentioned, from the flavour-wise there. Again, very little in the way of tannins, very easy going with that flavour.
Yes, it's and it continues as well, whereas the last one sort of died quite quickly. I've still got it in them.
And again on that, that plumminess that I did mention, I can definitely get that in the flavour a lot more. It's quite a big one. I leave it for a second, the plum comes through. Oh, now I have a lot of bottles of this, so I can again, well, not this evening, but I have had a lot in my time, and it just reminds me. This is what I was. This is almost my perfect wine because it has that the oakiness which I associate with the Rioja, that kind of leatheriness of cowboys, but it's also really smooth on the finish again. So the tannins they are there, but it only comes through at the very, very finish, and I would describe that as very well balanced. It's a very well balanced wine, is that?
So you mentioned on the last one that you'd be, you could just drink it on its own. Actually, I think this one I would prefer to drink on its own than the previous.
Well, again, it's because that like tannins, the tannins don't really need like the food to kind of soften them up. So, and that plum is massive in there.
Is that what it is? Is that what is that the taste?
That is what I'm saying the taste, but it's not the predominant taste. So I go for a minute.
So what's the predominant taste?
I'd say the oakiness.
Oak.
Okay.
It doesn't taste. I can't taste oak.
You know? No.
Unless the taste I'm tasting is called oak, and I don't recognise it as oak.
We could do with an episode where we have like little
That's what I'm saying. Just
pieces,
a piece of wood, and so I can lick them.
Associate. Yeah. Well. No. We shall do that. And that's a very good idea. Oh, and while we are also on that, ideas for future episodes. It would be really nice if anybody wanted to, obviously this is our penultimate episode of this phase of tasting.
Yeah.
So, we're looking at where we can go from here, and perhaps you'd like to send us some questions or requests as to what you'd like us to do, or all wine related. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to find out what you guys would like, where you'd like us to go with this.
Yeah, and we can obviously expand on what we're doing, but if you want us to look at maybe what to drink with what food, etc., we can also look at that. So
of course we can.
Yeah, we're here for you. So drop us a line.
Now, I'm reluctant to finish this part.
Yeah, I know.
Only because this is so delicious. I want to just carry on drinking this one.
Is it a problem? Because this is your favourite, and now you're going to go to the other one, maybe be disappointed. Well,
possibly, but this next one,
you haven't tried before.
I haven't tried it. No, this is an Australian one, and in general, Australians do make a nice Merlot. Although the signature grape is Shiraz, they do make a nice Merlot, and this particular one is. I mean, this retails at $14.99, and I would pay that every day of the week for that. And
every day.
Well, I am just a poor cheesemonger, and I do get some fabulous discounts. So perhaps not every day. But yeah, our next one's retailing at £20. Now, we've on previous episodes we've seen that the price doesn't always make a massive difference.
Yeah,
it's horses for courses and what you like. So
yeah, individual taste. Yeah,
yeah. So it's going to be very interesting for me, definitely, to see if this Merlot is going to be this Merlot.
Okay, right. Well, I guess we'll see you on the other side where we're tasting the unknown.
Ooh, hey.
See ya.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.